LAMP stands for Local Area Management Plan, and what the idea here is that we're going to prepare a LAMP for the Burrumbuttock squirrel glider population. We know squirrel gliders are here, we don't know how many, but what we want to do is work with the community to make sure that in 50 or 100 years' time there's still a healthy population of squirrel gliders here.
Squirrel gliders are the perfect species for the LAMP program. They're iconic, people love them and people get really excited about them, so people are happy to do activities to support them.
There's been a lot of work going on in Burrumbuttock for squirrel gliders over the years, but we're never quite sure whether we've done enough or whether we're doing the right things. And so the idea behind preparing a LAMP is to carefully plan what we need to ensure that there's a viable population of squirrel gliders. So how much habitat do we need? What quality of that habitat do we need? And how connected is the habitat?
We're trying to figure out what's good habitat and what's not good habitat, so we put traps where we think it's good and where we don't think it's good, and then we can sort of do some maths and figure out what makes good habitat for them.
The LAMP's got a number of phases, and the first phase, which is what we're in now, has got a number of components. And the first one of those is a survey, a squirrel glider survey, so we can work out how many squirrel gliders there are here now, how they're distributed, and what sort of habitats they prefer. The second component of that first phase is the habitat mapping, and that is using aerial photography, mapping the distribution of habitat across the landscape. And that's going to be important because it'll tell us how much habitat's there, whether it's connected or not, and that's really going to help us plan works that are going to benefit squirrel gliders into the future. And then the third component of this first phase is engaging the community. So going out there, making sure the community understands about the project and is on board with it, and most importantly, contributes to its direction and final outcomes.
Well, we've been doing a glider survey in this laneway here. This is our third night of trapping, and we've caught this little female, well, she's not little, but a female here, and we're going to process her. So we're going to give her a microchip, take a genetic sample, give her a tattoo, write down a bit of information about her reproductive condition, then we let her go, really. So in a couple of years we could come back and we could see if she's still alive, and we can look at the genetics in the lab and see how related all the individuals around here are and how they're related to other animals in the greater region.
Yeah, well, the project kicked off in February this year with a launch here at Wirramina, and there was a really good response to that. And since then we've been contacting landholders to gauge their interest in participating and having squirrel glider surveys on their properties. And we've had over 20 landholders who've put their hands up and said, yes, we'd love you to come out and look on my property for squirrel gliders.
So the trapping process doesn't hurt the animals at all. We get here early in the morning and process them quickly and let them go as early as we can in the morning. They're not in the trap for a long time. We process them efficiently. We make up commonly known as standard mammal bait. It's just rolled oats, peanut butter and honey. Squirrel gliders have quite a sweet tooth, so we put a little ball of bait in the trap, and then we get a mixture of honey and water, and we spray that around the trap on the tree. And then, so if the animals are way up the tree, they can smell that and come down and follow that honey spray into our trap.
We're really pleased with the early results from the surveys. We've got, in the first week of trapping, we've had at least 15 squirrel gliders recorded, and we've got a few more weeks of trapping to go. So we're really pleased with the data we're getting. We're pleased that the squirrel gliders are out there. They're doing it tough, but they're hanging in, and we're looking forward to being able to put together a plan that's going to benefit them long term.
They're so adorable. They're so fluffy, and they're big fluffy tails, and they're just cartoon character adorable. What engineers find fascinating about them is the way they glide. So when we're putting up structures to help them cross the roads, we talk about the geometry of how they can glide. So we can say, oh, their average glide is about 40 metres. So that means if they're able to cross the road, then there's not too much of a gap, and then that pole on the other side of the road has to be the right height for them to be able to glide to it without intercepting traffic. So I think the mechanics, I guess, of their gliding is very interesting.
Murray Local Land Services are really proud to be able to provide Australian Government funding for the LAMP project. The squirrel glider work has a long history of being supported by the Burrumbuttock community, and it was in fact the Burrumbuttock community that told us that they really value this population of squirrel gliders. So it's fantastic that we've got the support of community there, and we know that it's a community that's going to be critical to making sure this project succeeds in the long term. And it's also fantastic that we have so many other partners on board as well as landholders. We also have the Office of Environment and Heritage, Murray Local Land Services of course, also Greater Hume Shire, Wirramina and West Hume Landcare, so it's fantastic.